totally open, without conclusion. What does it really mean? It means just to observe. And firstly, to observe how much I don't observe in daily life, my own mind, how it works, and all the complex of body-mind. If we approach through understanding, we have to use the mind, and we have to do so to some extent, but our real nature, not being in time and space, consciousness, it is by observation that we can realize that we are not the mind. We are the observer, the silent observer, who enjoys the play without being touched by it. So we can practice that, which is a non-practice, just to be here in every circumstances of daily life and just observe. Maybe first observation might be a part of the mind, then it becomes more subtle as alertness, awareness. So we start from where we are and we just observe the mind. We make a decision with ourselves that I am willing to just being here without conclusion. The mind needs conclusion, needs understanding, needs certainty. But consciousness, ourself, is free from everything. So that's how we can realize this, which has no preference, no like or dislike, which is welcoming everything as it is. So we could call it fairly pure love, because that's our understanding of love is that what we are wanting from love, from somebody who is loving us, is that he is taking us as we are. We don't want to be judged. We don't want to be pushed away. So, in truth, we don't want what we think we want. We think we want love from outside, from others, but it does not really satisfy, because I still depend on something. And that's not what our soul wants. Our soul wants to regain its own freedom. Realize that freedom is always here. It's our fundamental nature. So the more I am taking note of how much I am not observing my own mind, my own reactions in daily life, just to take note of that bring me to that presence more and more. So wherever I am at now, in this moment, there is no judgment from this place of presence. So this individual being is taken absolutely as it is, with his shortcoming, his good quality, whatever. there is no condition for love, for consciousness, what you are. So you as consciousness can love this individual as it is, and others as well, and the world as it is, with its high and low, wars, fight, politic, injustice, pain and pleasure, good and bad. It's part of this show. So if we want to control the show, good luck. We can to some extent, but it will always have its limitations, because it's part of this play to have good and bad. Unless we change our perspective, and instead of seeing from these two eyes represent the eyes of the mind, which is dividing into two: good, bad, pain, pleasure, preferences, should not. And we have been told, specifically in India, there is another eye, the third eye, Shiv Netra, which is not dividing things. And by chance, it appears to be located behind the eyes, somewhere around at the place of the pineal gland, which is the center of the head. So the head is a good representation of the wheel of samsara, because the wheel of samsara is turning, the mind is turning in time and space. And we have a center, the pineal gland, which is related to the head, not moving, the center of the wheel. And the center of the wheel, if you have seen in a car, is not turning. There is only one point in a wheel which is not turning. So that is a place from where we can see that we are not stuck in the wheel of samsara, from this still point, or the third eye, Shiv Netra, from where we are experiencing ourselves as consciousness, which is not dividing. So that is a way to make it very simple, that what we are is not dividing, is taking, loving everything as it is. No preference, no should not, no like, dislike. The mind does not like to let go of that, because it is its nature to work and does these laws of preference, like and dislike and preferences. So ego-based life is working like that. And if we try to let go from this same place, it's not possible, because ego is working like that. So we have to look from a deeper perspective, consciousness, awareness, and observe the mind without conclusion. Consciousness has no conclusion. It is already concluded. And looking, the one who need conclusion, the one who need to understand, to separate. So, no conclusion for consciousness. Being totally open without conclusion. So I can look at the mind, what happened in the world, how much is freaking out, judging, fearing, contracting, opening. All this movement are happening for a contracted drop of consciousness, in this case a human being. So just taking note, observing, being present, being presence. And from that presence, in my presence, which is not personal, everything is happening. And from that presence, in my presence, nothing is seen as wrong from this third eye of Shiv Netra, consciousness. nothing is wrong. Everything is going on perfectly under the work of the great intelligence. So the great intelligence, we can call it life. In some traditions, they call it the Sadguru. The Sadguru is doing everything. The Guru tell you, just remember that I am nothing, I do nothing. Sadguru is doing everything. Sadguru means, in this case, life, the great intelligence, the Shakti of Shiva. In Kashmir Shivaism, we have this Shiva Shakti relationship. So Shiva, in that case, is consciousness, pure consciousness, unmoving, untouched. And from that Shiva consciousness emerged is Shakti, which is first appearing as a sound or nada or shabd, light and sound, and then prana, and then in more gross worlds of physical experience. So all this, whether it is a primal sound, nada, shabd or prana, whatever it is Shakti, energy, manifestation of Shiva, the absolute, pure consciousness. So pure consciousness is experiencing itself, its own Shakti. But its own Shakti is an expression. It's not a real happening. It's an experiment. So Shiva, nothing. That's why he's always in deep meditation. What does it mean? Consciousness is undisturbed. What we are as this Shiva or the self is always at peace. And always in a state of presence, independent from everything, from its own Shakti, its own play of existence. So if I place myself as an individual, and I think I'm only that, then I have to fight with the world, to fight with others, to survive. So if I am only that, then I am bound to experience pain and pleasure, high and low, and so on. But if I realize that I am Shiva, this pure consciousness, experiencing its own Shakti energy play, manifestation, then there is no fight. Because it's my own self, it's my own expression. Why should I fight against my own self? That's the real love we are searching for, not the love in other human being, in relationship. It appears like what we are searching is through that, but they are like just mirroring some glimpses, some experiences of love. But the true love is to realize that there is no fight, that there is no me, to be in between the unmanifested and the manifested, between Shiva and Shakti, between consciousness and the world. There is no need to fight because it's all me. So that's when love is realized more and more, because against whom should I fight? Within myself, outside of myself, against whom? It's all my own Shakti play. So that's what they mean in Kashmir Shivaism, to realize yourself as Shiva and Shakti. So there is just whatever is happening, but the background of beingness, consciousness, self, Shiva, is my fundamental nature. So whatever happens will happen. If there is contraction, if I have still vasanas, stuff left in my body-mind system, then it's also an experience. in the pure sky of consciousness. So ultimately it doesn't matter. It's the will of Shiva, of consciousness, to experience itself as a jiva, as a separate being, and to play like being lost, needing to go back home, to regain the awareness of who I am. It's a play for Shiva. He's playing like ignorant. So nothing matters at the end for that, what I am. Even the worst thing we can imagine are also happening like in a dream-like situation like we have in the night. So we wake up and realize, oh my God, it was not true. Same here for Shiva, it's same. So there is a double game here. At the same time, we are that which is always perfect, untouched, at peace, and this experience as a separate being who will evolve, change, being more mindful, more aware. But that's also Shiva playing the game of being more aware, more present. So it's also part of the play. So nothing is serious at the end for Shiva, for consciousness. It's also a game. So that's why we call it in India the lila of God, the play of God. Because for God, nothing is serious. We have been educated, especially in the Christian world, as something very serious. God very serious, judging, and this. Oh my God, that's not the vision I have of God. God is much more playful than we think, because all this is an amazing experience. So thank you for listening. So today I was speaking about being totally open without conclusion. That's also an experiment that Shiva wants to make through a human being. So let's us enjoying that play and being here without conclusion. Observing the mind who need conclusion, but just witness that. Thank you so much. You can like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you very soon. Thank you. Namaste.